They said Ethan Cole could have any woman he wanted, and for a long time, he believed it. He moved through life like it was a game. Charm them, win them, leave before sunrise. Love was a word he used, not something he felt. His name carried a reputation, whispered in bars, written in headlines, cursed in broken hearts. He was the kind of man who smiled like a promise and disappeared like a secret, until she walked in. Ethan Cole was the kind of man women warned each other about, and secretly couldn't resist. He had the smile of a sinner, the confidence of a king, and eyes that promised you'd regret falling for him, but still would. His life was fast, champagne parties, luxury cars, and women who came and went like songs on a playlist. He never got attached, never stayed, never fell. Love to Ethan was a beautiful illusion, a story people told themselves before reality broke their hearts. That belief shattered the night he met Lena Hart. It was a Friday evening at a small downtown art gallery, the kind of place Ethan rarely visited, but a friend had dragged him there for a charity showing. He stood near the bar, bored and half listening to the crowd, until he saw her. She was standing alone, studying a painting of a stormy sea under a slice of moonlight. There was something haunting about her, the quiet in her stance, the focus in her gaze. Ethan found himself walking over before he realized it. "Beautiful, isn't it?" he said smoothly, his usual line ready. Without looking at him, she replied, "Painful, actually. But then again, beautiful things usually are." He blinked, caught off guard. "You sound like someone who's seen a few storms." She turned then, her eyes steady, unreadable. "And you sound like someone who causes them."
You might be right.
Ethan laughed,
Then stay away from
genuinely
me.
amused. "You might be right." "Then stay away from me," she said simply, and walked away. No one had ever told Ethan Cole to stay away, and suddenly that was the only thing he couldn't do. He saw her again a few days later, at a bookstore cafe. This time, she was sketching something on her notepad. He recognized her immediately.
You again.
Fate. Or maybe a well-timed coincidence.
Or bad luck.
She gave him a small, polite smile. Or bad luck. Her name was Lena Hart, an art teacher who loved the quiet parts of the world. She read poetry, collected old vinyl records, and taught children how to find color in sadness. The more Ethan learned about her, the more he wanted to know. She didn't laugh at his charm. She didn't care about his car or his name. When he flirted, she met him with silence. When he showed off, she looked bored. And yet, she lingered in his mind like a song he couldn't stop replaying. So he kept showing up. At her exhibits, her favorite coffee shop, even at the park where she painted. Sometimes he'd just sit beside her, saying nothing. For the first time in his life, silence felt like connection. One night, under the soft glow of a streetlight, she told him the truth.
Easily. I've been in love with men who loved the idea of me. They liked my art, my quietness, but not the parts of me that were complicated.
They liked my art, my quietness, but not the parts of me that were complicated. Ethan listened, really listened. And something inside him shifted. He didn't want to be another man who hurt her. He stopped going to parties, stopped chasing meaningless attention. He found himself sending her songs that reminded him of her, showing up at her art classes with coffee, waiting for her after work. The man who once ran from feelings was now chasing one. When Ethan finally invited her to a charity gala, she hesitated. "I don't belong in your world," she said. "Maybe I don't belong in it either," he replied. That night, she wore a simple black dress that stole his breath. When she entered the room, conversations dimmed. The whispers began. Another one. Let's see how long she lasts. But Ethan didn't care. He couldn't take his eyes off her. During a slow dance, he leaned close and whispered, "You're the only real thing in this place." She met his gaze, calm but daring. "Then maybe you should start living like it," It was the first night he realized he loved her. When he walked her home in the rain, he stopped at her door. "Lena," he began softly, "I don't know what's happening to me. I've never felt this way." She smiled faintly. "Maybe you've just never tried to feel." He kissed her then. Slow, unsure, and completely real. For once, it wasn't a conquest. It was a confession. Love changed him. But the past has sharp edges. A week later, an old photograph of Ethan surfaced online. Him at a club, arm around another woman. The gossip spread quickly. Lena saw it, and the wall she'd started to lower went right back up. When he called, she didn't answer. When he texted, she stayed silent. Days later, he showed up outside her school in the pouring rain, waiting by the gate as students left. When she finally appeared, he ran to her, soaked and breathless. "Lena, please." "That photo was old. You have to believe me." She folded her arms. "Ethan, your whole life is full of women and lies. Why should I believe this one?" He stepped closer, desperate, "Because this time I have something to lose." She looked at him, eyes trembling but guarded. "I don't care about the parties, the image, the past. You made me want to be someone I'm not ashamed of." For a long moment, the rain was the only sound between them. Finally, she whispered, "Don't make promises you can't keep." "I won't," he said. "Not this time." And she saw it. The sincerity, the fear, the love, the man beneath the charm. So she let him hold her, not as the womanizer he once was, but as the man who finally understood what love meant. Months passed. The tabloids forgot him. The parties stopped calling. But Ethan didn't care. Every Saturday, he was at the art gallery helping Lena hang paintings for his students' exhibits. Sometimes they'd fight, passionately, stubbornly, but always find their way back to laughter. And every night, when she fell asleep beside him, paint still on her hands, he'd trace her name on her skin and think about how strange it was that the man who ran from love found it in the quietest girl in the room. Ethan Cole, once the city's most notorious heartbreaker, had finally fallen completely and beautifully for the one woman who never even tried to play his game. And he would never forget her, because some storms aren't meant to destroy you. Some are meant to change you forever. Please like and follow for more.